Right now, I know that people are quite concerned for their fellow Americans when it comes to food insecurity. And one of the best things that you can do, obviously, is to donate cash to your local food bank because they can buy in bulk at rates that none of us as individuals can come close to matching. Plus, they know what people want, so it really helps to avoid the teddy bear effect. Second, obviously, second best is if you do have canned goods, other items of food that you can physically give to food banks. They appreciate that as well. But I really think that we need to get creative, and we've got to find every way under the sun that we can to help people feed their families. And there is, I think, a hidden well of capability that's kind of just overlooked. And that would be, oddly enough, bread machines, right? So here is a loaf of bread that I've made myself. You can get a 12-pound bag for about $10, maybe a little bit more than that. And then, of course, you need yeast for it. I want to say I paid maybe $6 or less for this. I don't remember how much the yeast cost, but there's a lot in there. And with a 12-pound bag of flour, you can make, I want to say, 9 loaves of bread. It takes about 3.5 hours in the bread machine. And bread machines, there's been no technological revolution. A bread machine from 20 years ago will work just as well as the bread machine that I myself purchased off of Amazon for $100 last month, or the month before, whenever it was that I got it. The only difference, of course, though, is that the bread machine from 20 years ago will be hideously ugly. You see them at thrift stores all the time. Goodwill, Salvation Army, they're being sold for $5, $10, less than $20 generally because, they're 20 years old. But many of them have just never been used. They're still in the box or they've been used twice, right? What happens is these are pretty widely given as gifts at weddings, for the wedding registry. And couples, they go on their honeymoon, they come back, they've got the grill that they always wanted, they've got a rice maker that they want to use desperately, they have a toaster oven, and then you've got the bread machine, right? Like you gotta get the flour, you gotta go out and get the yeast. There's a little bit of cleanup because flour's always messy. It's not the end of the world, but it's a little bit of a mess. Or when you're shopping, right, when you're in the supermarket, as you have to go every week, you could just stop at the bakery where the bread is just quite affordable and they've got every variety and type of bread under the sun that you could want. You just buy it when you're in the market. And that's generally what ends up happening. People just buy the bread. So the bread machines, they go into the cellars, they go into the attic, they go into the storerooms, and they just gather dust. And I want to say that's probably 50% of all bread machines that are out there right now in the United States. So ask your mother, ask your grandmother, hey, do you have a bread machine from 20 plus years ago? They're not worth anything if they're that old, but it could be life-changing for somebody who is food insecure. And you can't just throw a bread machine at somebody. You want to have a conversation like, hey, would this help you out? Or you could donate it to Goodwill, Salvation Army, those types of places. A lot better than trying to make bread by hand in an oven. And of course, you would have to have a functioning oven to even begin to attempt that. Plus, it's so much effort to make bread by hand. If you're struggling, you're tired, you're busy, life is coming at you. You don't really have all day to make bread by hand. But with the bread machine, you just pour the ingredients in, you push the button, bada boom, bada bang, and then later on, you've got really nice bread. So just something to think about if you're looking for ways to help out your fellow American who might be food insecure. Well, I want to thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.